along the west coast of Florida on Sunday and Monday, bringing very dangerous major hurricane conditions and life-threatening storm surge to those areas.
Well, on the Florida Keys, 60-mile-per-hour winds already lashing the now nearly deserted islands. Fox's Adam Housley is there.
We're seeing the wind. We're seeing some of the storm surge. We're also feeling the rain come down. You can hear the popping, too, of some of the overhangs as they rip loose and some of the sails as they come loose from the sailboats. Obviously, the sails were all put down, but they're still, obviously popping off parts of the boat itself. The water going over the bows of several sailboats already. Again, here we're on the ocean side of Key Largo, one of the narrowest parts of the island, maybe a mile width at the most. The highest elevation, maybe 5 feet, 6 feet, something like that. So this water is expected to come through here. The surge is expected to come through here.
Keys expected to take the first hit from the storm center, then Fort Myers and Naples on Florida's west coast.
Citizens have listened all week and have evacuated. Those that didn't are hunkered down pretty good.
Naples Mayor Bill Barnett there. Irma then expected to continue north, slamming Sarasota and Tampa. Its bands also expected to be wide-reaching into the center and east coast of the state. FEMA Administrator Brock Long.
A sizable portion of the state power is going to be out, and this could be one of the largest power outages the United States has seen in a long time.
More than 50,000 now packed into 70 shelters across Florida. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM NewsTalk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for it to stay nice for the rest of the weekend and into Monday, too. This evening will be pleasant, clear, and comfortable tonight with lows 55 to 60. Tomorrow, you'll have sunshine and high of 78. Clear and cool tomorrow night, low 50 to 55. Sunny and nice again Monday, high again 78. Then we cloud up Tuesday, ahead of some rain from Irma late into the night, high 74. I'm meteorologist Frank Strait for FM NewsTalk 97.1.
Get a $5,000 engagement ring now for less than $85 a month. Yes, you can at Diamonds Direct with 5 years zero-interest financing. Now for a limited time. Pick any item. Spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings for only $50 a month? Don't miss this once-a-year opportunity. 5 years zero interest on any purchase at Diamonds Direct. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands. 5 years zero interest. Diamonds Direct. Olive at 270. On approved credit.
When it's time for hospice, patients shouldn't wait. Neither should you. Vitas Healthcare has technology that assures smooth, seamless transitions and customized patient care that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Compassion-driven care for families in distress. Technology-driven solutions for healthcare professionals. Refer today. Don't delay. Call 888-VITAS-80 or go to vitas.com. That's VITAS.com. First licensed in 1980.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
The Financial Symphony is a show that blends the worlds of music and finance together in one harmonious package. It features your local financial maestro, Jerry Means.
A lot of advisors out there are mainly giving accumulation advice or looking at the growth through your working years. You really need to take a look at, is your advisor giving you advice on preservation and distribution?
That's the Financial Symphony with Jerry Means, Sunday mornings at 9 on FM NewsTalk 97.1.
Have your current tax issues been keeping you up at night? Hi, I'm Lance Drury, and I'd like to help you resolve your tax burden and finally have some peace of mind. Tax problems are legal problems. I'm a local tax resolution attorney with over 30 years of legal experience. I've helped hundreds resolve their issues with the IRS and Missouri Department of Revenue, and I can help you. We'll meet face-to-face right here at my office in St. Louis. Your first visit is free and confidential. We'll work together on a strategy to resolve your tax problems, and just like a white oak, I have deep roots in tax resolution law. I know your rights, I know the law, and I get results. So if you've been accused of tax evasion, tax fraud, facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, act now. Go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com, or call me, Lance Drury, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. FM NewsTalk 97.1 is teaming up with the American Red Cross and our fellow St. Louis broadcasters to help the flood victims of Hurricane Harvey. Please go to redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 and make a donation today. Your donation will help the American Red Cross provide meals, shelter, and hope to tens of thousands of people affected by this historic flooding. You can also find this information on our station's website, 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome into the Annie Frey Show. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Today was a beautiful day. I was out at my son's flag football game, which as a second grader, flag football is a good. It's kind of an entertaining thing to watch. This flag football team, it's with the Y, and it's second through fourth graders that play all together in a team. And I think we have a very large majority of second graders on our team, maybe disproportionately so. But yeah, it was. We've gotten that taste of fall in the air, that chill, and then you think football, and then you go out and you stand in a wide open field, and it's 83 degrees outside, and there's no breeze, and you're like, this is hot, this is summer, this is not fall. So hopefully you're doing something outside. It is beautiful. There's a story that I came across. And I just told Frank I was going to talk about the hurricane, and now I'm not talking about the hurricane. There's this story that's come out. I think it's out of Australia. Am I looking at this right? Yes. 60 Minutes Australia covered the story. And the headline is, 12-year-old boy transitions to female. And then 2 years later, decides he felt, let's see, where is this? It says, when he was young, he would dress up in girls' clothes. At one stage, he did say to me, could he be taken to the doctor to be made a girl? And then it says down here, this is a quote from the boy. I began to realize I was actually comfortable in my body. Every day I just felt better. And the reason why I want to bring this up is not so much the transgender issue. That is an issue that can be discussed. But the reason I bring this up is the age issue. A 12-year-old boy? We have a problem in our society today where we have forgotten that kids are kids and adults are adults. Parents need to parent children. Adults need to parent their children. I look back on being a child myself, and like my entire childhood, I feel like is a series of mistakes that I had to learn from. You find yourself in experiences, you make a decision, it's the right decision or it's the wrong decision, and you learn a lesson and you move on. But how often does a 12-year-old, a preteen, really grasp anything about how the world works, the way the world works, their surroundings, themselves? Like, I don't know, Frank, if you could like think back to being a kid, when from the time you were a child till the time you were in your 40s, early 40s now, right? Mm-hmm. When did you feel like, okay, I got this. I'm in control of my life. I'm not constantly reacting to things, where you felt comfortable with just your autonomy, with yourself?
Certainly not 12.
Not 12.
Nowhere near 12.
Now, I mean, for me, I'm 33. I don't even think I felt that way in my 20s.
No. And that's something that Mike Mahan has actually talked about on his show.
Which is on at 8?
Which is on at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
And he's talking about how people mature and how that people, being old enough to their brains actually being able to choose things and make the right decisions and like you said, be in control of things is actually farther into their 20s now than people 100 years ago.
I look back on being a kid, and especially that middle school age range. All I did, and I can't imagine that I'm that different than all the other kids that are that age. All I did was watch what everybody else was doing and try to apply that to myself.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with what I wanted. I didn't even really understand. And like I said, this is well into my 20s. Maybe, I would say maybe in the last 5 years of my life, I felt like my hands were firmly on the steering wheel. We might still crash and burn from time to time, but I felt like I knew what I wanted and felt empowered to enact based on my thought process. And these 12-year-olds
in this
and younger,
in this case, the story that you talked about, I can't blame the parents. I would have to blame the medical professionals that are involved in advising.
Yeah.
And saying, yes, this is the right way to go. This is not the right way to go. He is too young. He shouldn't be making these decisions. Let's just go with this for a while, and let's not make the drastic step to change something.
Yeah.
Because it's too soon. And not being a medical professional, it's tough to say that they were wrong. But you kind of question it.
Yeah, it says in this article, this is off thedailywire.com, the teen recognized that his gender confusion began to dissipate when his school teachers started referring to him as a female. And then it quotes the mother, Mitchell's mother, says, he looked me in the eye and said, I'm just not sure that I'm a girl. And, if you take out the details of this story, if you take out the fact that we're talking about a child who was born a boy and felt like maybe he was really meant to be a girl, take that out and apply something else. Football, for instance. If you have a kid who says, he sees his friends doing football, or he sees some of his friends, or he sees what football does for people. He sees how the football players walk through the hall at school, and he's like, I think I want that. I think I want to try that. And then you go play football.
You get beat to heck.
Yeah, and your coach is screaming words in your face that you've never heard before, and you're like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this was a decision that I'd like to change. That type of stuff happens with kids all the time, and it is a part of growing up. If you want to weigh in on this subject, I'd love to hear from you. 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797. I'll take your calls. I just look at I have 3 children. My oldest is 7.5. And we're starting to get to this place now at his age as a second grader where the social things are starting to happen, and I'm trying to watch how he positions himself just to make sure that he's not hurting his case at all. He's in a new school. It hasn't always been the easiest for him, but we as a society now, it's like trendy to empower kids to make these very, very adult decisions.
Well, too many parents are friends with their children, and they're not parents. So therefore, it's okay, buddy. Let's do this.
Yes. Oh, and Johnny wants to XYZ, and then you just move heaven and earth to make that happen for him. When it's not a really realistic outcome for that child to be able to control. Like when you think about the way the child controls the parent-child relationship today. And, I'll tell you where I see it a lot. I'm an official. I referee volleyball. I'm an IHSA licensed official referee. And one of the most interesting things, and I'll do anything from 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade volleyball, and I can do up to varsity volleyball. To listen to how these parents in the stands react when their child is on the floor and the coach is on the other side of the floor. I have seen this time and time and time again. It's not every parent, but it is every game. that I do, where you see these young children who are out there, they're learning the game of volleyball. And volleyball is not easy. It's a game of coordination and depth perception, and you know, it's a sport where kids are learning and taking this in. And what ends up happening is the kid fails. Watch the kid and see where they look first. Do they look to the coach? Or do they look into the stands and find mom or dad sitting over there? And then the next thing, when they go to look, as soon as they fail, who yells at the kid first or speaks to the kid first? Is it the coach? Or does mom and dad get their
affirmation or negative
criticism in whatever it is first? And I'm finding more and more the kid, what I like to do, I enjoy the psychology behind it, but when I watch that kid make a mistake, especially if it's like the second mistake, what they need is the coach to correct, to offer them some actual coaching,
right,
and then give them the encouragement that they need to succeed the next time, to be willing to try.
Right.
And you'll have that on the one side of the gym. And on the other side of the gym, you have the mother who's embarrassed that her daughter screwed up 2 times in a row. And she's, come on, you can do that. You can do better than that, blah, blah, blah. And that child's face sinks. That mom or dad will put a pin in the balloon. And what that child is realizing is that the only way that they can make mom and dad happy is when they succeed. And childhood is a repetitive succession of failure. and you need the parent, like in sports, you have parents who will run their kid down in front of everybody, and then you have parents whose kids cannot do anything wrong, and the coach does everything
everybody
wrong.
Else is wrong, yeah. Every teammate is wrong, every coach is wrong.
Yes.
You, the official, is wrong.
What are you teaching your kid when you do that? Like, what example are you teaching your child when, let's say you badger the coach? I mean, the younger the kids, the worse the parenting and the coaching relationship ends up being. And
there's more there's more chances for mistakes because the kids are younger, less coordinated, haven't played the sport as long.
Yeah, you want them to be better when they're in 5th grade and 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade. There needs to be a separation, even if you don't really love what the coach is doing. You need to teach your kid to respect the coach. You need to teach your kid to respect authority outside of you. That's what people criticize millennials, of which I am one. I am a very top of the range millennial, but I am a millennial. Everyone criticizes millennials for like going into the workplace and not being able to adapt to structure and to criticism. That's because parents have been controlling the atmosphere and the environment around
to make it perfect for you for all these decades, and then now you're here with us, and you've got to have your little plant grow light back at your desk, and you're.
Yes, I do.
I'm kidding, but no, I get that, and we see studies, we see the whole corporate structure's changing to deal with the influx of the millennial.
Yeah,
and probably not the older millennial like you, more the younger millennial.
Yeah, it is a really, really pertinent thing right now in society that we have to balance. Christine, thanks so much for calling the show. What do you think?
I appreciate you taking my call, because I feel very strongly about it, that it's our first and foremost job as parents to teach our kids to love themselves for who they are.
Right.
And so if they think their nose is too big, if they think that a birthmark is embarrassing, whatever flaws they imagine, and we all imagine we have flaws, and some of us are right, we do have flaws. If a kid is born short, he's going to have to learn to deal with that. But you teach them first and foremost to embrace and know that they're blessed with the body that they have.
Yeah.
And whether they feel like a boy or whether they feel like a girl, that doesn't mean that we have to shame or blame them, but neither do we have to change them. We start by teaching them to love the body they have and appreciate it. And, some girls, when they turn 20 years old, want to go get a nose job because they really think that'll give them more confidence. But the parents aren't the ones that are supposed to encourage that. They're supposed to encourage love and acceptance of their body the way that it is.
And when you're 20 years old and you've been living with this nose the entire time and you decide, you know what, I really want to correct this about myself, that is an adult decision that you can make at 20. Whereas if you say to a 12-year-old, let's just use the nose job as an example instead of the gender switch, because that is the extreme of extreme examples. When you tell them, yeah, well, let's fix that nose. Well, what do you say when they get a little overweight, in puberty as that fluctuates, how do you fix that? And how do you, like you're saying, you have all of these things you're going to be self-conscious about. You need to learn how to adapt to it.
I mean to equate a nose job with the trauma of somebody being gender dysphoric or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't mean to equate that in any way, but what I'm saying is that the best gender issues is to say embrace the body you have, and you keep encouraging that until and to say be who you are. That's okay, but be who you are in the body that you were blessed with.
Yeah, Christine, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it. When you talk about embracing who you are, with the gender issue, with switching genders, and I didn't think Christine was trying to equate the two, but if you want to simplify the issue, to do like what Christine said, teach kids to appreciate who they are, or to, that you're going to like some things about yourself, you're probably going to not like some things about yourself, but you're no different than anybody else in your like and dislike for particular parts of the self. We all have those things. And when you tell a kid that you can fix something like that, there's always going to be the next thing. There's always going to be, well, I think that my, like she said, nose is too big, or my chest is too small, or whatever it is. You end up telling the kid that they can be fixed, where it's like, wow, let's just embrace the person for who they are and not feel like you have to, for a child, accommodate that questioning, because the questioning is normal. Of anything that has to do with autonomy and self and just growing up, being in the environment of a middle school, of even an elementary school, and not being quite sure of who you are. Like I said, this 12-year-old boy transitioning to a female, and then when he becomes 14, saying, I think I was okay being a boy. That is an extreme example of this, but to simplify it, If parents would work more on parenting and guiding in a sense of working with the kid, and telling the kid that you love them, supporting the kid in that way, but allowing these young children to make these decisions, it's just a very frightening thing. We'll take your phone calls, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797 when we get back. This hurricane is pretty intense, and do we know when it's gonna hit Florida? 1 a.m. this Sunday morning? So soon it's going to hit, and they're saying it might be the most devastating hurricane to ever hit Florida. I'm old enough to remember Andrew and the wake of the devastation there. So we're going to pay attention to that, and we're going to see what they're saying. And, of course, did you know a hurricane can be political? Because it is. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. At Annie Frey Show on Twitter during the break if you want to chat. Be back in just a minute.
By the lake with your high school fame on one side, high school beer on the other.
Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Do this for me, brother. Come on home, boy.
Log on to 971talk.com for your chance to win passes to the Barat Academy Mini Mud Craze. It's an adventure race that will test your kids' grit and endurance, all while getting dirty. Open to kids 4 to 14. Get all the details on the Barat Academy Mini Mud Craze at 971talk.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in St. Louis? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the St. Louis area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. St. Louis is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text INVEST to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 99,000. That's INVEST to 99,000.
Hi, this is Barry Sanders for the law firm of Cordell & Cordell. Being a good football player didn't protect me from the trials and tribulations all men are subject to, like divorce and the prospect of losing all the things you've worked so hard for. You may not be able to save your marriage, but with Cordell & Cordell, you can try and minimize the devastation. I took the time to meet and talk with Cordell & Cordell clients and attorneys, and I can tell you that Cordell & Cordell has represented thousands of men just like you and me. If you're a man facing divorce, consider Cordell & Cordell, a partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Call the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys. 314-725-0000, 725 all zeros. Or visit online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. This is a paid endorsement. Cordell & Cordell, Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
For a look that reflects your style, choose Marvin Windows and Doors. They'll enhance the essence of a room and the character of a home. Beautifully crafted with the most extensive selection of customizable options, it's easy to complement your vision. Marvin Windows and Doors are sold only at independent dealers who understand your home is more than your address. It's a feeling you create in a place that holds your dreams. Marvin Windows and Doors, built around you.
Find exceptional service and inspiration at Richards Building Supply, your local Marvin dealer. As a family-owned business, Richards Building Supply has put our customers first since 1978. For unprecedented product knowledge and quality products, contact one of our locations in Kaiser, O'Fallon, or Baldwin today. Visit us online at richards-supply.com or call 773-586-7777. That's 773-586-7777.
Brian, how do you know who to hire?
It's easy, really.
Really?
Just hire the happy people.
Is that all?
What do you think?
Well, they also have to be willing to be part of a team
that looks right,
acts right,
has a good attitude,
and they got to be careful with other people's stuff.
Be very polite,
work quickly.
And what do we tell people?
All you have to do is point, and whatever you're pointing at
will disappear.
I'm glad I work here, Brian.
I'm glad I work here, Brian. I'm proud of both of you. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Our cruise to Hawaii, transmission issues. Our daughter's wedding in Mexico, it's all behind us now, but the high-interest debt is still there, and the buildup still nags at me. But with Discover Personal Loans, the craziest thing happened. It all smoothed out.
Lighten your load with Discover Personal Loans, where you can consolidate your high-interest debt into one payment at a fixed rate that could be lower than what you pay now, saving you more money. Check your rate and monthly payment today with no impact to your credit score at discoverpersonalloans.com.
The news of the day.
Hurricane Irma, very powerful hurricane.
Every day.
Do what you can to prepare now.
I think everybody's going to want to keep an eye on through the week.
Still, here we are.
North Korea.
He is begging for war.
St. Louis's FM News Talk.
DACA. He will give Congress 6 months to act.
FM News Talk 97.1.
We've seen the very best in the Texas spirit.
Younger.
Whatever Texas needs,
smarter.
Texas is going to get probably $150 to $180 billion.
Better.
He's a ghost, then I can be a phantom, holding him for ransom. Some boys are trying too hard. He don't try at all though. Younger than my exes, but he act like such a man. So I see nothing
Talk lines are open now, 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
In a recent article in The Root magazine, Charles Ellison suggested that post-Harvey recovery efforts in Houston should, quote, prioritize black and brown folks dealing with the compounded devastation from generations of dire economic straits. Ellison also laments that officials are too focused on bailing out property owners instead of offering assistance to Houston's poorest.
Welcome back into the Annie Frey Show. Go to 971talk.com/Annie. You can always stream live 97.1 right there at 971talk.com anytime, any day, anywhere that you can access the website. But at 971talk.com/Annie, you can access my podcast. You can go to iTunes, Stitcher, whatever your podcast preferred provider is, and subscribe to the show. I'd appreciate having you along. I add in to my podcast all the extra stuff I do with 97.1 during the week there as well. And you can follow me on Twitter at Annie Frey Show, Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show. Give us a like there. That was Tucker Carlson talking about one of the lead editors for a publication called The Root. Are you familiar with The Root at all, Frank? It's an African-American centered publication, but Charles Ellison wrote this article, and what he highlighted, it's interesting to me that he makes a point that I think is actually a valid point, but then it goes off the rails because then he turns it into a race issue. He refers to the recovery efforts that we have anytime there's a situation, a tragic event like these hurricanes that are just pounding the southeast of our country. But he talks about how a lot of the efforts go to help property owners. Well, what if you rent? What if you live in a maybe lower income area and you rent? Well, how do you get assistance if there's not property ownership recovery? Well, to me, it's not like white people own and, as they call them, black and brown people rent. I'm pretty sure there are black and brown people who own, and I'm pretty sure there are white people who rent. So you could make that point, which I think is a valid point, that when we are, as a country, as a federal government, writing checks to make sure that we're supporting the people who need the actual support in the wake of this destructive hurricane, that we are considering all the people who have lost things as well. I would think renter's insurance would probably cover what homeowner's insurance would have if you have renter's insurance. I rented apartments for probably, 8 years. I never got renter's insurance, but I also wasn't living in the coast where I could get everything taken away from me by a hurricane. But when the government steps in and tries to fill the gaps in what needs to be done and with the expediency that it needs to be done, his point is that the black and brown people are the ones that get left behind. Here's Charles Ellison's response to Tucker Carlson's assertion that he was making this a race issue.
We should recognize that there are issues of race and class. Class is very important here, too, particularly when you consider that in Houston, there's a very vast, not a majority, but a vast segment of the Houston population that rents, that doesn't own property. And so there's going to be questions about, well, where does that federal resource money go, particularly FEMA money, which is primarily for the recovery of property. 40% of the Harris County population rents. So we have to figure out, okay, well, what's going to happen with them? 30% of the population lives under the poverty line, and a disproportionate amount of them are black and Latino. There are also many Caucasians who are living with poverty or are renting as well in Harris County. So definitely don't want to suggest that we should just, specially or.
So he's explaining the fact that, like what I said there, he's saying that the focus goes to property ownership and it doesn't go to the people who rent, and the disproportionate amount of people who rent are minority populations. That doesn't make the actual policy from what the government is doing. It doesn't make it racist. It's not being done to harm people of color. And that's where anytime somebody comes in to make a solid, valid point, we need to make sure that we support the people in the wake of these hurricanes, and we need to support them equally, I would say. When you start taking it into the issue of race, and when you start making the connection between the way we help people and the color of their skin, that is dangerous, dangerous ground to tread upon. Because now you're making racist accusations, or accusations of racism, rather, towards something that isn't that way. Can we all agree that racism exists? There are people who act based on bigoted perceptions of other people. All colors, all people can be bigoted towards other people and be racist towards other people because they don't like the color of somebody else's skin or somebody else's nationality. That exists, and that is an important thing to identify. But when you muddy that down with something like this, you're really cheapening that accusation of racism when it truly does exist. It makes it harder to take an accusation of racism seriously. Because if you scream the R word every time you get the opportunity to do so, you're crying wolf. That becomes counterintuitive to the actual goal. The goal here should be that we treat people based on their actions, based on their character, based on the people who they are. Not based on what we assume about them when we see them with our eyeballs. We need to judge people with our cognitive thinking based on experiences, not with our eyeballs based on skin tone or nationality. And when somebody like Charles Ellison from the publication The Root starts talking about how we provide relief in the wake of a hurricane to people that is essentially racist in tone, that's a dangerous ground to tread upon. And I think we're tired of it. As a country, I think we are growing very, very tired of it. In other race-related news, we still are awaiting the Jason Stockley verdict. We don't have the verdict out there. Everything is in the hands of the judge. And he has, I think, until October something when he said he could render the verdict. So it could be Monday. It could be a month later. We're going to talk a little bit about that case and what I actually think. I haven't heard many people talking about this, but I think that for the city, we could see worse rioting in the event of a guilty verdict. And I'm going to explain that coming up next. Follow me on Twitter at Annie Frey Show, and I will chat with you on the break. We'll be back in just a minute.
In the middle of the night, in my dreams, I know I'm gonna be with you, so I take my time.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
Film Festival is back, and we're looking for amateur and aspiring filmmakers to make their best horror film. Submit your 5 to 7 minute film, and you can see it on the big screen at B&B Theaters in Winsville. Get all the details at 971talk.com/film, presented by Moore Choice Jewelers.
Hi, I'm Tammy of Tammy Mitchell Hines & Company Real Estate Team, and we want to be the realtors to help you buy or sell your next home. Are you thinking about selling your house? Well, now is the perfect time. Homes are selling faster than ever if they are priced right and well staged. We also know that buying a home is one of the biggest investments you may ever make, but that doesn't mean it has to be stressful. Our amazing team of full-time realtors can help guide you through the entire process from beginning to end, including setting you up with one of our 3 moving trucks so you can move for free. We are consistently ranked the #1 independent real estate team in southwestern Illinois. Tammy Mitchell Hines & Company Real Estate knows how to get things done. We sell a house every 30 hours. With over 22 years of experience, I am confident that we can help you accomplish your goals. I believe buying or selling a home is not just a transaction, it's a relationship. So whether you are buying a home or selling a home in the Metro East, go to calltammy.com. That's calltammy.com.
It's the best offer ever from Diamonds Direct. 5 years, 0 interest financing on anything and everything. Now, for a limited time, pick any item and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. How about a $4,000 Diamond Eternity Band? And you pay only $67 a month. Or a $6,000 designer engagement ring, only $100 a month. Hurry, this once-a-year offer at Diamonds Direct will not last long. 5 years, 0 interest, nothing down, and nothing held back. Only at Diamonds Direct. Olive in 27 on approved credit.
American small business owners are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are better, but we're not out of the woods yet. And sometimes getting clients to pay on time can be a challenge. Stop waiting on your net 30, 60, and 90-day invoices and get paid right now. Let AmeriFactors help get your business moving. AmeriFactors can get you the cash you need wired to you overnight. And there's nothing to pay back. AmeriFactors simply buys your accounts receivable. And if those clients don't pay on those invoices, AmeriFactors takes the loss, not you. $5,000? $5 million? Easy. Just call AmeriFactors. And the best news is that most applicants are approved. Stop waiting on your net 30s, 60s, and 90s and get paid now. That's right, get the cash you need now with nothing to pay back. AmeriFactors, helping America's small businesses be great again. Call 800-336-6468. That's 800-336-6468. 800-336-6468.
Radio moves. Radio breathes. Radio never sleeps. And Next Radio keeps up. It goes where you go, so you never miss a beat. It's live, it's local, it's a connection. A shared experience, just you and your radio. And a couple million people, give or take. Next Radio keeps up. You thought that phone couldn't get any smarter? Well, it got simpler. It got leaner. It's got your back, and it'll keep you moving, winning, in the know, and it'll get you where you want to go, all in the palm of your hand. Next Radio, live and local, wherever you go.
Listen to your favorite FM stations with the free Next Radio app, live and local, wherever you go. Download the free Next Radio app today.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
Hey St. Louis, it's Brian Kilmeade with a reminder to join me each weekday morning from 9 till noon as we cover the biggest and hottest news of the day. We even mix in some fun. Kilmeade and Friends, weekdays at 9 a.m. on FM News Talk 97.1.
How fickle my heart and how woozy my eyes. I struggle to find any truth in your lies. And now my heart stumbles on things I don't know. My weakness I feel I must finally show.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
Lend me your eyes, I can change what you see. But your soul you must keep totally free.
Welcome back into the Annie Frey Show. Frank made me mad on the break. You want to know why? So we were talking about some news stories that are going on, and he said that he saw something on TMZ. And I said, I used to like to go to TMZ, but then they started putting in all this stuff about celebrities that I could not care. I mean, like, I'm interested in the news stories, the information, but like the things that aren't really revelations as far as like events that happened.
You didn't have to click on this.
I didn't.
And you did.
But I'm going to blame you. So there's a story out that says Kanye, Kim, I guess it's a category, of course it is. He chills in LA, she slays at Fashion Week. And then I scroll down and she's wearing pantyhose for pants. Black sheer pantyhose for pants at Fashion Week. This is now taking up brain cells in my brain and in the place of something else that's way more important than that. And so I wanted to make it take up your brain cells too. I mean, seriously, she's got on a black leather jacket, a tube top black thing on the top, and black pantyhose, black sheer pantyhose.
Well, here's a good story.
It better be better than this because I'm
Kristen Bell
ticked off right
saved
now.
Josh Gad's family in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were
saved who?
Josh Gad.
Who's that?
He was the voice of was he the voice of Olaf in
Olaf?
Frozen?
Oh,
yeah, the actor.
So there's a Frozen tie there.
There's a Frozen tie because Kristen Bell was obviously voiced in Frozen too. So he tweeted. He tweeted about her making sure his parents were safe down in Florida in her hotel during this hurricane.
Huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a good story.
That is a good story.
TMZ's not all bad. There's a picture of Kristen Bell here with Josh's
Did
parents.
you see
It's
Kim
really
Kardashian
cute.
wearing pantyhose as pants?
I haven't found that story yet. I'm looking for it, but I can't see it.
It's because you're blind.
We've got the Hurricane Harvey telethon coming up Tuesday. That's up on here.
Now, do you think that there will be another Kanye West, Donald Trump hates black people moment of some sort? Do you think that we're going to see that? Will Kanye be involved in it? Do you know if he's going to?
I don't know if he's going to be involved. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because if he were involved in it, you'd almost expect it of him. Like, I mean, he's all about doing the unpredictable, whatever. He is kind of a shock jock in his own sense.
Clooney, Beyonce, Barbra Streisand, Reese Witherspoon.
Well,
Oprah.
None of those people will go
Jimmy
there.
Fallon.
I like Jimmy Fallon too.
Taylor Swift.
So they'll all be present.
Sandra Bullock. They're apparently all involved. They'll be answering phones. Leo. Miley.
Well, so we're going to hear about climate change,
Drake.
maybe, not race.
Kim, Khloe, Chris, Courtney, Kendall, and Kylie.
So the Kardashians will. So then Kanye.
Yeah, sure. J-Lo and A-Rod.
Whatever. So the hurricane.
Still bitter, huh?
Yeah, I can't get that out of my head. Don't look at it. I'm not sharing it anywhere. I don't want anyone to see it. Hurricane Irma is going to hit tonight, according to Frank Ladd, at about 1 a.m.
In the south of Tampa, north of Fort Myers area,
and then
which is not where they originally thought the hurricane was going to hit. They originally thought it was going to hit the Miami side, Fort Lauderdale side, but it's kind of slowed down as it's come across the northern coast of Cuba, causing its turn to be a little
So it'd be
less
like
sharp.
more Gulf side?
Yes, definitely more Gulf side. And what's ironic is that a lot of people from the East Coast side of the state made their way to the West Coast side of the state thinking that they would be safer. Not getting completely out of the state, not getting up into the Georgia area or anything like that. They went to the West Coast side, but now they're on that side, and that's where the storm's going to track to.
Well, hopefully they're getting out of there. The governor has been adamant about get out now. And I
problem though is that, like you said during the break, 7 million people have to get out now.
Yeah,
and
so
there's
where do they all
really
go?
only one huge major highway headed down through Florida. I mean,
I think about trying to leave St. Louis on a weekday in traffic with
That's
all
right.
of the construction, and that's a pain in the rear.
That's right.
So try to have the entire state of Florida getting on the highways to get out of there would be a nightmare.
We heard it last month why the Houston mayor did not call for a mass evacuation out of Houston, because you can't move 6 million people out.
I didn't know this.
Or over the course of a couple of days. You just physically cannot do it. There'd be too much-
Houston's highway system is set up to be like an exit route for water in the event of a flood.
Mm-hmm.
They guide water out via the interstates so that it can exit if they were to have a massive flooding event. So let's put all the people on the highway And then
that's where the water's supposed to go.
That's terrifying. If you go to my Facebook page right now, or if it's facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, you can see this video that was shared, and it says, Long Island, Bahamas, there's no more ocean. And these people are walking out of the back of their house, and the ocean was there, and it is now gone. And this is from Hurricane Irma. The caption says, as far as the eye can see, and they don't know where it went. Wow, Irma is more powerful than people think. Be safe, guys. But you can see, their dock is there, but there's no water by it. There's puddles. There's conch shells laying around. There's evidence that the ocean was actually previously there, but it's not anymore. And, is that going to come back? Or does it just, does everything just shift?
Well, it doesn't look like the land is any higher there for the water not to be. But when you're dealing with these storms, they're sucking up water
and moving it places.
Right. So I would assume at some point this is all going to fill back in.
It's crazy.
But yeah, they're
Are you looking at the video right now?
Yeah, they're walking. There's their little buoy off the dock. They're walking on the ground, which they would normally have water over their head, probably.
Yeah. This is insane stuff. And then you have people like, you've got celebrities saying that climate change is causing this. And then you have other people saying that God is causing this because these places voted for Donald Trump.
Kirk Cameron,
not because of Donald Trump.
No, but God.
Yeah. But not as punishment for a political ideology.
Right.
It's hard to look at this stuff and try to place it and understand it. And a lot of people have a lot of reasoning out there on what they think is causing this. I would just always say when someone is trying to sell you on an idea, figure out where they're spending your money when you buy it, because there's a lot of that going on. Let's play this cut. You probably, if you listen to 97.1 throughout the week, Jamie, Brian Kilmeade, he probably hasn't covered this as locally, but he could be if this becomes a national story, just like Ferguson did. And I know Mark Cox has covered it a lot, and so has Dave Glover. This is Lyda Crewson, mayor of St. Louis, talking about the Jason Stockley verdict that we don't have yet. Let's go to cut 4.
As we await this legal decision, please don't let the anxiety, the worry, and the pain determine how we treat each other. Try to understand the reactions of others and be open to what we don't understand in others' reactions.
What? Be open to what we don't understand in other people's actions. Now, when I'm listening to her cut and I'm trying to understand what it is that she's saying, and like a true politician, she says a lot of words without saying a whole lot of valid, interesting, real, helpful things. She wants us to understand, or to realize that we might not understand why people are acting a certain way, but that's because we don't have the right things in common to understand that, and you need to be open to that. Let's play cut 5. This is the rest of what she had to say.
Ask ourselves how we might feel if it were our son, daughter, mom, dad, or friend at the center of this legal decision. Ask ourselves if we can turn this anxiety and distrust into steps towards healing. Don't answer in terms of what other people should or shouldn't do or think. I am asking, what can I do? What can I learn? I hope you will join me.
What do you think? Do you think that isn't the mayor the one who should be out there telling us what we should and should not do? Like, don't destroy things, don't cause situations where people could get hurt, innocent people could get hurt. We can all agree on that, right? We can all agree that innocent people shouldn't be hurt in the wake of any verdict, guilty or not guilty. The mayor is the one who is supposed to lead and guide her city and her people. And she's supposed to be out there and encouraging stability. And she says, don't ask what other people should do or should think. You're the mayor. Lead the city. Show the city that we can handle, like adults, getting some information that we do like or we don't like, we can handle it responsibly. And the reason why I said earlier that I think a guilty verdict might cause as much, if not more, unrest is because a guilty verdict is going to publicly affirm what these protesters have been saying. And I'll be the first one to say, if Jason Stockley did what he is being accused of doing, he deserves to have the book thrown at him. There's no white person, conservative person, pro-police person side to this story. It's a man who is in uniform, who was acting officially as a police officer, and and happens to be white, and it's a black man who was in possession of heroin, who tried to run over the police officer at the time, and you have a collision here of two forces that resulted in the death of Lamar Anthony Smith. Anytime a situation like that ends in a death, that is tragic. But there are circumstances that led up to that, and it is up to the judge to determine whether or not that police officer was rightful in his actions, his pursuit of what he then ultimately did to kill Lamar Anthony Smith. So if we get to the point where we get a guilty verdict, which is what they want, if we get that guilty verdict, is there going to be more unrest in the city because there is now an affirmation of what they're protesting? I'm afraid that there could be. And what I really want to see is people expressing their opinions, telling us how they feel, but doing it in a constructive, peaceful way. That is welcomed in this country. It's actually encouraged. Dissent is fine. But threatening disruption, mass disruption, is not going to affect the change you want. Take your phone calls, 314-969-9797, 866-455-9797 after the break at Annie Frey Show on Twitter. Be back in a second.
It's McBride & Son Homes Picture Perfect Selfie Home Tour. Visit any of McBride's over 40 communities and save from $5,000 to $105,000 on a new home. Then snap a selfie, upload it to McBrideHomes.com, and register to win great prizes like a free trip to Jamaica, a new iPhone 7, or a 55-inch 4K TV. It's a picture-perfect chance to get a great deal and have some fun. The McBride Homes Snap a Selfie Home Tour, September 1st through 30th. See McBrideHomes.com for details.
Hi, it's Tony LaRussa here with Mark Cox talking about our friends at Victory Men's Health.
Thanks, Tony. Victory Men's Health has something no other men's clinic can boast. They have a staff urologist, Dr. Lawrence Hatchett, who oversees your treatment. They also offer that new Priapus shot or the P shot. It treats erectile dysfunction. It's quick, virtually painless, a non-surgical approach to improving your sex life. Remember, Victory Men's Health is only 15 minutes from the ballpark in O'Fallon, Illinois. Highway 64 at the Shiloh exit. Check them out at victorymenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann, chairman of 1-800-Flowers.com and co-founder of Smile Farms. With nearly 80% of adults with developmental disabilities being unemployed in the United States, we decided to try and do something about it. Smile Farms makes a positive impact on the lives of those with special needs by creating meaningful work experiences at local farms and greenhouses.
To find out how you can make a donation and change a life, visit smilefarms.org. That's smilefarms.org.
You've heard of the Fun Police? Well, we're the opposite. The original donut shop coffee. Full-flavored, deliciously straightforward coffee best enjoyed with a smile. So good, it's criminal. Enjoy a cup and sprinkle some fun into your day. Made for your Keurig brewer. Find it at Keurig.com and grocery stores everywhere. Just look for the bright teal box with the donut. The original donut shop coffee. Have more fun.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in St. Louis? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the St. Louis area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. St. Louis is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text INVEST to 99,000. Seating is extremely limited. Text in the next 10 minutes and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Text INVEST to 99,000. That's INVEST to 99,000.
KFTK FM, Florissant. KFTK AM East St. Louis. K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
A grim update on Hurricane Irma. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News.
The center is getting better organized and will intensify as it approaches Florida.
Florida Governor Rick Scott issuing that warning last hour. Hurricane Irma already a Category 3 with winds at 125 miles per hour as it barrels closer to the state.
It will impact northwest Florida on Monday. The Keys will see direct impact of the eye of the storm. There will be 18 to 15 inches of rain across the state and up to 25 inches in the Keys.
Irma expected to make a second landfall in Naples on Florida's southwest coast. Fox's Steve Harrigan is there.
Every store is shut down. A lot of them, too, have been boarded up over the course of the day with plywood. The only people you really see out at this point are news crews waiting for what may be an impending disaster. The area of mandatory evacuation continues to expand here in Collier County and in Lee County as well. Here where I am, there are 20 shelters across the county. The problem is 18 of those are already filled up. So you have a situation where at this last minute you have people, families going from shelter to shelter looking for a place to ride out this storm safely and sometimes just not finding it.
More than 75,000 Floridians now in shelters statewide. Irma expected to continue north along Florida's west coast, slamming into Tampa Bay after Naples.
Our most recent forecast has given us the indication that it's moving a more west-northwest projection.
Tampa Fire Chief Tom Ford feels several parts of his city will soon be underwater. More than 6 million Floridians hoping to stay ahead of Irma, heading north on roads.
A lot of anxiety because we don't really know what's going to be happening.
Roads along Interstate 95 and I-75 packed in some areas bumper to bumper, and you know it's serious when Disney World is closing its Orlando theme parks ahead of the storm. Hotels and resorts, though, will remain open. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for it to stay nice for the rest of the weekend and into Monday, too. This evening will be pleasant, clear and comfortable tonight with lows 55 to 60. Tomorrow, you'll have sunshine and high of 78. Clear and cool tomorrow night, low 50 to 55. Sunny and nice again Monday, high again 78. Then we cloud up Tuesday, ahead of some rain from Irma late into the night, high 74. I'm meteorologist Frank Strait for FM News Talk 97.1.
Get a $5,000 engagement ring now for less than $85 a month. Yes, you can at Diamonds Direct with 5 years zero-interest financing. Now for a limited time. Pick any item. Spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings for only $50 a month? Don't miss this once-a-year opportunity. 5 years zero interest on any purchase at Diamonds Direct. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands. 5 years zero interest. Diamonds Direct. Olive at 270 on approved credit.
Kubota's Orange Opportunity Sales Event is going on now. Take on the tough jobs in a powerful Kubota Standard L Series. With the right combination of dependable horsepower and ease of operation, they're perfect for the independent property owner. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 84 months. Now through October 31st, 2017. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms.
Visit MissouriKubotaDealers.com or IllinoisKubotaDealers.com.
Your seriously ill patients return again and again for high-acuity care in the ED or hospital setting when symptoms aren't managed correctly. Vitas Healthcare offers palliative alternatives to aggressive treatment as we transition those hospice-eligible patients to comfort care at home. From inpatient hospice beds to continuous care at home, Vitas has the resources to care for your most complex patients. Refer today. Don't delay. Call 888-VITAS-80 or go to Vitas.com. That's VITAS.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Carpenter.
And I'm Adam Wainwright.
We hope you'll join us this season by making your Homers for Health pledge for Cardinal Glennon kids.
Don't forget K's for Kids. Man, us pitchers are always forgotten about.
Oh yeah, sorry. You can pledge for every home run hit by a St. Louis Cardinal this season.
Or every strikeout thrown by a Cardinal pitcher, like me. I'm a pitcher, Matt. And K's for Kids, co-chairman, remember?
I got it. Pitchers are awesome. I love pitchers.
Make your pledge today at Glennon.org. Presented by Heartland Coca-Cola.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
At Dietz & Watson, we're inviting families everywhere to choose the table together more often. That's why we offer a variety of premium meats and artisan cheeses, each handcrafted so you can reinvent mealtime with the people you call family. For meals that come together in minutes wherever you are, and for more of those moments that everyone can savor. Visit ChooseTheTable.com for inspiration and to find your local Dietz & Watson deli.
FM NewsTalk 97.1 is teaming up with the American Red Cross and our fellow St. Louis broadcasters to help the flood victims of Hurricane Harvey. Please go to redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 and make a donation today. Your donation will help the American Red Cross provide meals, shelter, and hope to tens of thousands of people affected by this historic flooding. You can also find this information on our station's website, 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Ask ourselves how we might feel if it were our son. Center of this legal decision. Ask ourselves if we can turn this anxiety and distrust into steps towards healing. Don't answer in terms of what other people should or shouldn't do or think. I am asking, what can I do? What can I learn? I hope you will join me.
That does not sound to me like the leader of one of the largest cities in the country. That was Mayor Lyda Carlson. As we await a verdict in the Jason Stockley case, who's charged with first-degree murder in the death of Lamar Anthony Smith. If you want to weigh in on this, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797. Take your phone calls on that. Dave, thank you very much for calling the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing okay, thanks.
Hey, you're not hearing a leader because she's not a leader.
Yeah.
She's a talking head who does not belong in that office whatsoever. She has no business even being in there. She's covering her political backside because she don't want to become a target for the people who are going to start trouble.
So
she wants to just lay back, try to look good to them, keep them off of her, keep them out of her other sight, and she's going to make the governor take care of the mess.
So whatever happens, whatever the verdict ends up being, if they do cause mass disruption, which I think is as likely with a guilty verdict as a not guilty, what do you think she's going to do when the city is on fire? What do you think she is? What do you expect from the mayor of St. Louis?
Stuttering, backpedaling. She's not going to do anything. She's not. Lyda Carlson is a zero. She She just wants the money, the job, the title. She don't want to do anything, to stand up and be accountable, and she's afraid of anything of blowing back on her.
Yeah.
And she's mostly, you can see it, you can hear it. She's mostly scared of becoming a political target. You have those reverends who stood downtown and threatened the judge.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. They threatened the judge. I believe that's a federal offense. And what they said, those aren't reverends. Those aren't pastors. Those are race baiters and troublemakers.
Yeah, Dave.
And Lada Cruzen should have spoke out against them.
Well, I appreciate your phone call, Dave. Thanks for listening.
And one more thing.
Sure.
If you want to move 7 million people out of South Florida, why aren't they using freight trains? It's better than dying.
You probably got a point there. I think there'd be people.
A lot of people on a freight train.
Yeah, you can. Thanks, Dave. Frank says you can't put people in boxcars. I guess I don't know if I'm running a. You know the reason why you can't do that? Because if somebody gets hurt, then the train company gets sued or the railroad company gets sued, and then you're trying to save people, and then you lose your business. That's the world we live in now. Is everything is lawsuit heavy. This Jason Stockley case. So if you're not 100% familiar with what happened, there's a really good article by Eric Berger on stlmag.com, and they basically lay out the details of the story, what went down, and why this is such a big issue. And Frank, you've paid a lot of attention to this too, so you can jump in here also if you want to clarify anything. But this isn't something that just happened. This isn't Lamar Anthony Smith didn't die like last year. This occurred in December of 2011, and can you explain the reason why this is being charged and prosecuted now?
I went back and found that there was new evidence that came to light.
And do we know? We don't know what that evidence was, right?
Top of my head, I don't know that off the top of my head.
I've talked with Chet Pleben twice on this issue, and he didn't know what it was. And if he doesn't know what it is, then I definitely don't know what it is. Right. And if we don't know what it is, the people standing on the courthouse steps don't know what it is. The people that are in the case, that are involved in the courtroom process, and Jason Stockley waived his right to a jury trial, so the verdict rests in the hands of the judge. The judge has all of the information. The lawyers had until August 18th to submit anything that they needed to put into the pot in order for everything to be, taken into consideration. That had to be done by August 18th. So what happened was Lamar Anthony Smith, who is a black man, was at a fast food chain restaurant, and do they know he was suspected of participating in a drug deal? They did later find heroin in the car, so there definitely was a presence of drugs.
Yes.
So Officer Stockley, who is white, saw this take place and suspected that there was a drug transaction occurring, and a high-speed chase ensued. Stockley first shot at Smith's car in a Church's Chicken parking lot at Thekla Avenue and Riverview Boulevard, after police say that Smith reached for something in his car and drove toward the officers. And then Lamar Anthony Smith sped away, which ended up causing this police chase to occur, and ended up crashing about a mile away.
After the police car rammed into Smith's car, which caused it to spin out.
So
airbags deployed, all that kind of stuff, and then Stockley got out of the vehicle.
So Stockley witnesses what he
vehicle.
Yes, witnesses what he believes to be a drug deal, and when the altercation begins, Lamar Anthony Smith jumps into his car and threatens the lives of the police officers.
Used his car as a weapon and drove at the police officers who were out of their vehicle.
So that's you can't do that. Again, we still have to determine if Stockley, who later on after the chase ends, shoots Lamar Anthony Smith and consequently kills him, if this is valid of a prosecution and a guilty verdict and a first-degree murder charge. So the high-speed chase ensues, ends in a crash about a mile away from this Church's Chicken parking lot where this all began. So it happens about a mile away. Stockley then shoots Smith 5 times after Stockley says he saw Smith reaching again for something. So Officer Stockley thinks that Lamar Anthony Smith is reaching for a gun, according to Stockley, and therefore he shoots him 5 times.
From essentially point-blank range. He is at the car window.
Yeah, I think...
And there's video of all of this. If anybody wants to go watch the video, go watch the video. You can see the chase. You can see the car crash. You can see... No, it's not, because you're looking from the dashboard camera of the car across to the other vehicle.
Yeah, I read that the last shot was fired basically within 6 inches of his body. Yeah. So he was aggressing him. So he was taken to the hospital. He was pronounced dead. Police said they found heroin and a gun in Smith's vehicle. So when police search his vehicle, they find drugs, which is part of what you assume was taking place at the Church's Chicken. Mm-hmm. And a gun. Well, the question, I mean, obviously, okay, he had a gun. So he was reaching for something and there was a gun in the car. Obviously, he was reaching for his gun, and obviously that's why Stockley shot him, right? Well, it's not that simple, because they're saying, prosecution is saying, that Stockley planted the gun in Lamar Anthony Smith's car. Let's see here. Let's take Carl's phone call. Carl, thanks for calling the show.
Hello?
Yeah, Carl.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for calling in.
Okay. I was just talking to the other gentleman there. This case happened. This incident is tragic all the way around. You have an officer on trial, which is not popular for the police department. Also, you have a young man whose life is obviously gone, which is hard on his family and the community. And people got to understand, this is 3 years before Mike Brown. And, at that time, the police departments, basically, they weren't being scrutinized as much, and the transparency wasn't there. My understanding is that years later, people within the police department, to kind of reopen the investigation themselves, discovered that certain things weren't presented to the prosecuting attorney back in 2011 or 2012. Mm-hmm. And they reopened the case because they discovered that there may have been some criminal activity involved. Yeah. Now, the deceased gentleman, not saying he's an angel by any means, he did do some criminal activity that possibly contributed to his own death. Mm-hmm. But the police officer also, there was some inconsistency in the story that was presented to the prosecuting attorney back when this incident first occurred.
Yeah.
I'd say it was under a different police administration. I believe Dan Ellison was the chief at the time. It was prior to the former chief who just resigned or let go by the so-called mayor of the city of St. Louis. Uh-huh. But like I say, that's the reason the case was reopened. I have sources kind of close to it. I've been kind of studying my case itself. Now, the DNA on the gun that was presented in trial that was open in court that I witnessed myself from the prosecuting attorney mm-hmm. and the defense attorney, the reason Mr. Stockley's DNA was on that gun was an officer. He obviously cleared that weapon to make it safe when he removed it from the vehicle, and that was consistent to the DNA on the gun.
Mm-hmm. So yes, there was Stockley's DNA found on the weapon that was found in Lamar Anthony Smith's car, but you're saying that DNA that was present there makes sense because an officer would see the gun and, as you said, clear the gun after the incident happened.
Correct. You'll probably handle the gun to make it safe. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate your insight here. There's no. I think people are compelled to see a cop and automatically assume that they got to take the cop side because they're on the cop, or they see that there was a black man, and if you're black, or if that is a cause that you've taken up, you feel like you got to figure out a way to be on the black victim side, the black man who died, or you see white and you see black, or you see cop and you see criminal. every case is different.
I think the wrong message is being sent out there to the community. And don't get me wrong, I believe the sheriff of Milwaukee, he made a very true statement, and I believe this. The definition of police brutality, that was your cases back in the 1960s, and that was evident police brutality then.
Yeah.
And when a person contributes to their own death by way of police officer merely doing his job, like I said, I'm not being judge and jury here in this case, but when an officer actually is justified in doing his job, people try to relate that to police brutality.
Yeah.
And that is definitely not the case.
Yeah, there are instances of police brutality. It is a real thing. It has occurred. But just because there's a death and a police officer involved, specifically in a mismatch of races, that causes all of those things to get inflated. And there are people taking advantage of this. To what I was going to say just a second ago, Stockley might be guilty of sin here. There's, just because you think that not you, the collective you, just because you might think that he's a police officer and you want him to be innocent, if he's guilty, he needs to be found guilty and he needs to be punished. And we need to all be okay with identifying that.
And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. If he is guilty, indeed, he should be found guilty. And I hope to God that public opinion is not going to weigh in this judge's decision-making capabilities. Mm-hmm. I hope he weighs everything in place. And like I said, I followed this case. I went down to the courtroom on several days of this case. And, Stockley, I would say he's probably guilty of, and this is my own opinion, of policy violations.
Yeah.
And he may have, I believe, he may have, I won't say lied, but his police report wasn't initially consistent to what happened. But, but as far as the capital crime of murder.
First degree murder,
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah. And you said you're an attorney?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm not affiliated with the law whatsoever.
You just have paid attention to the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Carl, thanks so much for calling the show. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Let's take one more call here real quick. Stephanie, thanks for calling the show.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Well, pretty much everything that man just said is a lot of what I was going to have to say. So he pretty much summed it up.
Yeah.
The only other thing I can say is I did see it on a few news clips, but no one is talking about that Smith's brother. He spoke about knowing that his brother had a gun, exactly like the gun that was allegedly planted, found, or whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it was on one of the news channels for a very brief, 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't put it out there. So hopefully that gentleman that just spoke, what he says, I don't know. I just hope common sense goes out there. And
yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a mad mess.
Thanks, Stephanie, for calling the show. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. I don't think that the verdict has really anything to do with the actions that these people who are promising, the clergy that stood up there, and these protesters and these activists that are promising mass disruption. They need another place to tantrum, and you're not helping your cause by causing mass disruption for the city of St. Louis. And Mayor Lyda Crewson, who is asking us to not judge what other people should or should do and think. Mayor, step up. I said to Frank, I said, I don't think she should have said anything. And he said, you said, yeah, she had to say something. She had to say something because
this is her city.
We have barricades going up, and we have
Calls
lots
for
of
protests
anticipation.
every day.
Yeah, and
lots of stress. Absolutely.
People are worried. We are downtown on a regular basis, and we are wanting to know when this is going to happen.
We've gotten emails here about added security.
Yeah, so. There is a concern, and you're right. She did need to say something, but I just think it was a huge swing and a miss.
It felt like a political statement more than a leadership statement.
Yes, if you are the mayor, you have won your election. You are the mayor, and you have an opportunity to encourage people to respect the justice system. Does she trust this judge? He is a well-accomplished judge. This is not his first trial. It's actually his last trial. He's retiring after this. And you have the opportunity to go out there and encourage people to trust the judicial system that we all rely on. We have to have a fair and equitable judicial system. And yes, I get it. These protesters don't trust the judicial system. But going out there and destroying your city that you share with people who have nothing to do with this is not going to affect the change that you want to see. If you want to weigh in on this, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797 at Annie Frey Show on Twitter on the break. We'll be back in just a minute with more of your calls.
Will I let this woman kill me or do away with jealous love? Will it wash out in the water or is it always in the blood?
Talk lines are open now. 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Could I change it if I wanted? Can I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water or is it always in
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Frank Lita Acura with 0.9% financing going on now. Can't beat a Lita. Online at litaacura.com.
Don't you love when guys keep their promises? In 1981, Randy's Jewelry made a promise to make quality affordable and bring an attitude of integrity and honesty about teaching their customers how to buy fine jewelry. Randy's Jewelry on Main Street in O'Fallon and on Main Street in Troy are keeping those promises. Come in and let their GIA-trained staff help you select a gift that will make them think of you every time they admire it. Randy's Jewelry, where we make quality affordable.
American small business owners are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are better, but we're not out of the woods yet. And sometimes getting clients to pay on time can be a challenge. Stop waiting on your net 30, 60, and 90-day invoices and get paid right now. Let AmeriFactors help get your business moving. AmeriFactors can get you the cash you need wired to you overnight. And there's nothing to pay back. AmeriFactors simply buys your accounts receivable. And if those clients don't pay on those invoices, AmeriFactors takes the loss, not you. $5,000? $5 million? Easy. Just call AmeriFactors. And the best news is that most applicants are approved. Stop waiting on your net 30s, 60s, and 90s and get paid now. That's right, get the cash you need now with nothing to pay back. AmeriFactors, helping America's small businesses be great again. Call 800-336-6468. That's 800-336-6468. 800-336-6468.
If you or a loved one has relapsing multiple sclerosis, you're invited to a live educational event. You'll hear from an MS expert and others living with relapsing MS. Plus, you'll learn about an oral treatment option. Connect with others in the MS community Monday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. at Bishop's Post in Chesterfield. To RSVP for this event or others in your area, visit relapsingmultiplesclerosisevents.com. Space is limited, so RSVP today at relapsingmultiplesclerosisevents.com.
Take your home from drafty, outdated, and boring to breathtaking. Marvin Windows and Doors, enhancing your home's beauty, comfort, and value. It doesn't get easier than this. From selecting styles, colors, and energy-efficient options, your local Marvin authorized installing retailer will help you find window and door solutions that'll fit your home perfectly. They'll measure, deliver, and install for a simple, worry-free experience from start to finish. Marvin Windows and Doors, built around you.
Your local Marvin dealers, Fisher Window and Door and Fisher Lumber Company, have the experience, industry experts, and friendly advice to help you find the perfect solution for your project. As a Marvin authorized installing retailer, with over 100 years of combined experience, we've earned our reputation with exceptional service and quality products. Visit Fisher Window and Door in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber Company in East Alton today. Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. So you did it. You outweighted me.
You waited through the spring and the summer, but eventually you have to get your carpets cleaned. This truly is a great time to do it because the kids are back in school. We have the holidays coming up. You can get your carpets cleaned. 3 big rooms for starting at just $119 when you mention me or the show. And here's the deal. Depending on your traffic, depending on how hard your family lives, once you have your carpets professionally cleaned by Zero Res, you probably won't have to call them again for between 1 year and 2 years. So that's pretty damn good. Call them at 314-474-2020. A very nice, very professional, very presentable, non-creepy person will show up at your house on time, clean the carpets in about an hour. They're dry in about the same amount of time, and it doesn't cost you more than $119. ZeroResSTL.com, 314-474-2020.
Keeping you informed and up to date.
We had a very good meeting with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer.
This is a really positive step forward, and it'll fund the government avoiding a shutdown.
The news and talk station for St. Louis.
It's huge. Regardless of which coast you live on, be prepared to evacuate. It could cause major and life-threatening impacts.
FM News Talk 97.1.
On both coasts, coast to coast.
Younger, smarter.
We are going to fight hard for DACA.
Better.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Were you in the yard with your wife and children or working on some stage in L.A.?
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now, 314-969-9797 or toll free 866-455-9797.
Fear for your neighbor. Or did you just sit down and cry? Did you weep for the children who lost their dear loved ones? Pray for the ones who don't know. Did you rejoice for the people who walked from the rubble?
Welcome back into the Annie Frey Show. September 9th today. Monday is September 11th. If you are old enough, and you certainly most likely all are old enough to remember September 11th for yourself, you think about how we reacted after September 11th occurred and how it sounds cliche, but we truly were all Americans. When the trade centers were falling, we weren't black people and we were white people. We were Americans, and we put everything aside out of necessity because of what was facing us at the time. And now, what is that, 16 years later? 16 years later, look how divided we are. Look how unwilling we are to try to find the similarities in one another. And you see, you watch the events in Houston and the people in Florida right now, everybody trying to help one another, they're dealing with it again. Why is it that it takes tragedy for us to start understanding one another and understanding that we are all part of humanity and we're not different? We aren't different from one another. But you have people who are very quick and eager and willing to parse the population into groups of individuals and make them feel as though they are oppressed, and they're always selling something. There's always a profiting portion to why they choose to do that. People win elections doing that. People make political careers, whether it's in actual office or it's in lobbyist or whatever, out of separating us. You know, if Jason Stockley is what he's been characterized to be, which is what I think a lot of the folks in Black Lives Matter and the things that surround that, I think a lot of people would say that Stockley is the stereotypical police officer. And the people who want to point the finger at Lamar Anthony Smith would say that Lamar Anthony Smith, it would appear as though he is the stereotypical criminal. He had drugs, and he drove at the police, and all these irresponsible things. That's what people want to say. They want to say that each of these individuals are kind of creating that caricature of what these larger activist groups apply to the greater population of say, police officers. So Black Lives Matter. If Stockley did what he is being charged with doing, if he is found guilty, because the evidence proves, and the evidence has to be pretty steep. It's really as steep as it gets to charge somebody with first-degree murder. First-degree murder is like premeditated, planned action. Tenacious221 on Twitter says they're reaching way too high with murder 1. Where's the premeditation? Should have gone murder 2 or manslaughter. Maybe. Or maybe they can prove that he premeditated it. We're going to find out. But what a group like the folks standing on the courthouse steps, what they end up doing is taking an individual court case, an individual police officer, and his actions, and they apply it to the whole. They're saying that this is how police officers are. First of all, we don't know that that is how Jason Stockley is. He has not been found guilty yet, and the truth of the matter is you are innocent until you've been proven to be guilty. And his actions speak for him. They don't speak for police officers in general. Just like Lamar Anthony Smith's actions don't speak for black people in general. He's an individual making individual decisions for his individual life. His actions don't define a group of people that look like him. And the police officer's actions don't define a group of people who look like him. That's the message that should be putting out there right now. Not Lyda Crewson saying that we need to not judge what other people should or shouldn't do if we disagree with them. No, I don't care who you are, what color you are, whether you're a police officer's family or a murdered or whatever the alternative to saying he keeps dead, black man at the hands of a police officer. If you're involved in any of those families, speak out, protest, dissent, be heard, but do not destroy. I don't care what your message is. Don't destroy. That's not what we do. That doesn't follow the order of community, and you're not going to do it, and it's not ever okay. There's no verdict here that could be read that would make any of that destruction of our city okay. You can be heard without destroying and harming people or putting people in the path of harm. That's what I would like to hear from my mayor. That's what I would like to hear any leader say, all the way up to the president, which we witnessed with Ferguson, from the local government to the governor to the president. The reaction, the leadership that you want to hear is, this is not how we behave. This is not how we act. And then you have people who come here and take advantage of the situation, and they don't even belong. It's not even their city that they're burning. People would say on the national media, I don't understand why you would burn your city. It's not their city. They're not from here. They're people who take advantage of a situation. They're people who see an opening that they can slip through and cause destruction. That's the same thing that Antifa is. That's the same thing that all these other crazy activists for other purposes around the country are. They're taking advantage of a situation. Mary, thanks for calling the Annie Frey Show. What do you think?
Well, sadly, I think if the verdict isn't what a particular group wants it to be, our city's going to burn. And I think the mayor was just kind of like preparing us that, well, don't judge anyone. It's nonsense. I mean, we've had Ferguson, and that started with a young man who decided to steal cigars from a QT. The thievery is what set off the chain reaction of motion. This situation with this young man started from a drug deal. I mean, I'm a realist. I'm not a racist, but you have got to get to the point where the African-American community says, why do we have so many of our people incarcerated? It's not because the cops are against them. If we're a nation of law and order, stealing is wrong. I don't know if anyone's got the message in the memo, but stealing, it's even a commandment, stealing is wrong.
Well, but I mean, what they would say...
but stealing is wrong.
Stealing doesn't automatically qualify you to be shot in the street, which is what the activists would say to you.
Chain reaction. The reason that cop may have shot him, because when he aimed that vehicle at him as a weapon, we got people now out on the streets on Flocka, and that drug makes people almost like superhuman animals.
That's what ISIS does. I mean, literally.
Join the club of the insane ones. Because when you put that crap in your body or you try to sell it on the street, you're no longer a little bitty petty criminal. You're now in the superhero category because the drug makes your mind go ballistic.
Sure.
I'm not saying the cop should have shot the man 5 times, but these guys don't know what they're getting into, and he already aimed the vehicle at him. Maybe when he came up after the crash, he wasn't sure if he was going to lunge out at him. I don't know. I don't know all the specifics, but I do know that we have got to get to the point where we look at ourselves, white people, black people, brown people, yellow people. We have to look at ourselves and say, my behavior in this situation, even the words we speak, they can set it off in a positive motion or a completely negative motion. And it started with a drug deal by churches, and it ended up with a dead young black man, and that is tragic.
Yeah. I agree with you, Mary. Thanks for calling the show. I don't know that Mary and I disagree on much there. We don't have anybody addressing this situation here locally or nationally. We don't have anybody who has the voice and the presence to try to speak some calm. You know who does? 2 people I can think of. One is... 2 black actors. The one with the voice. I can't think of words today. He's God in Bruce Almighty. He's older. He's red in
Morgan
Shawshank.
Freeman.
Yes, red. I can think of all of it. I can IMDb.
He's been in every movie.
Yes, and he's so amazing. He's the one. A reporter asked him during February, what do you think about Black History Month? And he's like, I don't like it. And he's like, well, why is that? He goes, well, when's White History Month? And the white reporter goes, well, there isn't one. He goes, well, why do I need 1 month out of a 12-year calendar to celebrate? He gets it. He understands that this division and this highlighting isn't necessarily helpful. It highlights this separation between people and it doesn't affect the outcome of the situation in a positive way. It just reminds people that they're victims. Feminism is the same thing. Remember back when feminism was about making women equal, when feminism was about taking gender out of the equation so that women could vote, and their brain that would cause them to vote a specific way would be as valuable as a man's. So we don't have elections that are based on only what men think or what their wives tell them to do. Women got to vote like what was it, like 70 years after black men got to vote. So you have so feminism, another political movement, is basically created in order to take women and not make them women. It makes them people, and it makes men people. So now we have a people, not a gender over here and a gender over here, and this gender gets to do this and this gender doesn't. Well, now feminism is about highlighting women in all the instances that they're victims so that they can suppress men in an effort to elevate women. It's like a bunch of mean middle school girls who, instead of trying to make friends with people and finding people who have similarities, instead what they do is they trash talk each other and they bring everybody else down to the level that they internally feel that they are in. They bring everybody else down. If everybody else is miserable, then I feel like maybe I'm a little bit above everyone else. That's what feminism is. It's just one big monstrous Mean Girls episode, which is, by the way, the best documentary I've ever watched on TV. I love Mean Girls. I could speak in all Mean Girls quotes. It's my favorite. Speaking of feminism, the foundation of feminism is abortion. And today I got to participate in something that combats the atrocity that is abortion. And I'm going to tell you about it in just a second because you guys helped me. And I'm very grateful, and I want to tell you thank you for that. So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Tweet at me at Annie Frey Show over the break if you want to weigh in, and I'll read some of those on the air coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
When the world stopped turning on that September day, teaching a class full of innocent children, or driving down some cold interstate.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Talk lines are open now, 314-969-9797, or toll free 866-455-9797.
Tell her you loved her. Did you dust off that Bible at home? Did you open your eyes and hope it never happened? Close your eyes and not go to sleep. Did you notice the sunset the first time in ages?
Watch the Mark Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Summer's slowly coming to an end, and once again, you've put off getting the repairs done to your home's basement. Don't wait any longer. The basement specialists at Midwest Basement Tech will give you 3 good reasons not to put off fixing that leaky, cracked basement. Reason number 1, the problem will only get worse and cost you more money in the long run. Number 2, call now and save 10% on all repairs. They also offer 12 months same as cash, or stretch it out with their long-term financing program. And reason number 3, Midwest Basement Tech is family-owned and operated and a great company to work with. They actually care about your home. They have a fully staffed office, and when you call, you can actually talk to a real person. Midwest Basement Tech offers only patented engineered products to create a healthy and strong basement, serving both sides of the river. Call the experts at Midwest Basement Tech now, 800-848-9805. That's 800-848-9805. Or visit their website, MidwestBasementTech.com.
The domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell has been the partner men can count on for over 25 years. Hello, my name's Joe Cordell. Over those years, tens of thousands of guys across America and now in the UK have turned to Cordell & Cordell when everything was on the line. We're proud of that expression of trust, but we know the responsibility that comes with it. Our tremendous growth is a result of our tremendous commitment to a core set of values and an obsession with client care. If we ever lose that focus, we'll cease to be the partner that guys will count on. We get that. So you can be sure that our focus over the next 25 years will stay on those values that got us where we are and that our clients have come to expect.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. Offices in St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, Edwardsville, and Belleville.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. Thank you, St. Louis, for making the Labor Day weekend the best we've had in several years. The phones have been ringing off the wall with customers asking if they've missed the sale. So due to the response, we're extending our Labor Day sale through this Sunday, September 9th. Carpets starting at just $289 a square foot. Carpets that normally go for $699 a foot for just $399 a foot. And a top-of-the-line 70-ounce carpet for only $479 a square foot. Prices include carpet, pad, installation, pull-up of your old carpet, and furniture moving. Plus, you get 15 months interest-free financing, and if that's not enough, you'll pay no tax. This will definitely be your last chance to get in on this sale. All good things must come to an end. Hurry in for the best selection as some items are in limited supply. Edwards Carpet, St. Louis's oldest locally owned flooring store, with stores in South County, De Pere, Ellisville, Creve Coeur, and St. Charles. Check us out at edwardscarpet.com. Thank you for making Edwards Carpet your choice for all your flooring needs.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
It's the best offer ever from Diamonds Direct. 5 years, zero interest financing on anything and everything. Now, for a limited time, pick any item and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. How about a $4,000 Diamond Eternity Band? And you pay only $67 a month. Or a $6,000 designer engagement ring, only $100 a month. Hurry, this once-a-year offer at Diamonds Direct will not last long. 5 years, zero interest, nothing down, and nothing held back. Only at Diamonds Direct. Olive and 27 on approved credit.
Join 97.1 FM News Talk September 22nd and September 23rd as Weber Chevrolet and Budweiser present the 5th Annual Songs for Soldiers Benefit Concert in Columbia, Illinois. Night 1 features Bret Michaels and Jeremiah Johnson. Night 2 features all of STL's best cover bands, including Super Jam, Joe Dirt, Petty Cash Junction, Dave Glover, and many more. This is a family-friendly event, and concert proceeds go to help Midwest area combat veterans. For tickets or to see how Songs for Soldiers helps our combat veterans, please visit s4sstl.org.
The Mark Cox Show.
Monday, Chris Arps is in the big chair. He's going to have Horace Cooper from Project 21, former NFL player Burgess Owens, and Mike Ferguson from the Show Me Institute.
Now weekdays noon to 3 on FM News Talk 97.1.
Spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plain, America, God shed His grace on.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Welcome back into the Annie Frey Show. Good to be with you on this beautiful September weekend. September 11th is 2 days away. And as sad and horrific as the memory is of September 11th, I think the most important thing that we need to remember about September 11th is September 12th, which was the day after the worst tragedy that I've certainly ever experienced in my now 33 years on this fine planet. There was so much love amongst the American people on September 12th. And the only thing that mattered was that we were still standing strong and we supported one another. I hope that that is your memory as well from September 12th. I on September 11th, I was going into school, and I remember listening to the radio. I believe I was listening to Y98. I think I was listening to Guy Phillips. And he mentioned that there were some planes that had hit a building in New York City. It said something about the World Trade Centers. I didn't even know what the World Trade Centers were. I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. I was about as old as you can be as a kid and about as young as you can be as an adult. It was a very confusing time. And I realized that, everything was different. So try to remember that on Monday and try to teach people younger than can remember this. Not necessarily the details about what happened, but what America looked like on September 12th. Anytime you have to explain something like September 11th to somebody, think about explaining it to a kid. Think about how much you have to simplify something to explain to a child. Think about explaining something like abortion to a child. Think about what you have to tell a child in order to explain the act of abortion. When you have to simplify that, it becomes pretty horrific and pretty clear what actually occurs during that process. Today, I got to participate in the Mosaic Pregnancy and Health Center's Walk for Life, and the Annie Frey Show audience supported that cause wonderfully. We raised $1,310, I believe, and they said it cost them $200 to walk an expecting mother through the process of counseling with a nurse, like health counseling, pregnancy test, and an ultrasound, where those expecting mothers get to see the first photo of their baby. And something like 90% of women who see that photo, who see that image of the heart beating inside the chest of the baby that is growing inside of them, and the fingers and the toes and the kicks and the movement of the lips and the mouth, they see that and they know it's a baby. It costs $200 to take them through that process. Mosaic provides that to those women for free. You can go onto their mobile unit, you can go into their clinic, and you can access all of that for free. And the cost is $200 per first photo. And the Annie Frey Show audience raised $1,310. And I got to hang 6 bibs up on a clothesline on behalf of you for your support of the Annie Frey Show team and the Walk for Life. And so grateful for that. I mean, there is no greater cause than saving the life of the unborn. And I'll tell you what, people want to say abortion, it's the holy grail of feminism today. It's the only thing that provides for complete and total freedom of consequence, sexual freedom, freedom from the consequence of the actions of a female, just like men can, quote unquote, enjoy in life, because they don't have to bear the children. So the only reason why feminism champions abortion is because it eliminates the consequence. Instead of elevating men to the place of shared responsibility, we have to lower women to the place of no consequences. But not the Annie Frey Show audience. We know that that baby is worth fighting for, and that $200 is so worth the effort. And Mosaic Pregnancy and Health Centers is doing that for women every day, saving lives. And you guys helped me do that, and I am ever grateful. Go to facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, like the page, and you can see a video that I shot out there, talked with Jeannie, the nurse, about the mobile unit. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. Follow me on Twitter @Annie Frey Show. Chat with me until next Saturday, where we'll be back here. Downrange is coming up next. Happy September cool weekend. Have a good September 11th on Monday. Remember what's important.
So you're in the market for high-end windows like Anderson, Marvin, and Pella. You owe it to yourself, though, to look at Beechworth Windows by James Hardy. Banner Construction is a preferred James Hardy installer, and they have the expertise to make your home a real showplace. Or if you're looking for a more moderately priced window with all the same benefits of energy conservation and low maintenance, Banner offers Simonton Windows, rated the best vinyl window by Consumer Reports. And right now, Banner Construction is making both Beechworth and Simonton windows even more affordable with their best offer of the year. Buy 4 windows from Banner and get 1 free. Make your home cozy this winter with quality installation from Banner with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Whether you want luxury windows from Beechworth or affordable quality from Simonton, trust your project to Banner. Buy 4 windows and get 1 free now through Halloween. Only at Banner Construction. Call 314-569-1050, 314-569-1050.
Hi, I'm local tax attorney Lance Drury, and I've represented hundreds of individuals and small businesses in disputes with the IRS. So if you've been contacted for past due tax debt or haven't filed taxes in a while, contact me, Lance Drury. And because each client's case is unique, we'll meet face-to-face and go over your tax situation in detail. Together, we'll develop a strategy to resolve your tax issues. I'm experienced, I know your rights, and I'll give you honest answers. Under my 8-point plan, my firm will file the necessary forms needed to resolve your issue with the IRS, and you won't have to worry about talking to their agents. I'll negotiate on your behalf to get you the lowest settlement allowed by law. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we want to make sure that you're satisfied with the outcome. So call me now, Tax Resolution Attorney Lance Drury, 314-238-7360, or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, I'm Jim McCann, chairman of 1-800-Flowers.com and co-founder of Smile Farms. With nearly 80% of adults with developmental disabilities being unemployed in the United States, we decided to try and do something about it. Smile Farms makes a positive impact on the lives of those with special needs by creating meaningful work experiences at local farms and greenhouses.
To find out how you can make a donation and change a life, visit smilefarms.org. That's smilefarms.org.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis. Powered by Window World. FM News Talk 97.1.
Time is running out as Irma bears down on Florida. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. Miles of Florida's west coast could soon be underwater.
Storm surge is going to be a problem from basically the Monroe Keys all the way up into Tampa Bay.
FEMA Administrator Brock Long warning residents ahead of Hurricane Irma's landfall, and he's not alone. Florida Governor Rick Scott holding 3 separate briefings today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland recapping the latest live.
Tom, Governor Scott had this message for people in Hurricane Irma's path.
If you have been ordered to evacuate, you need to leave now. This is your last chance to make a good decision.
The storm surge could put parts of Florida's southwest coast underwater by the time it's over.
15 feet above ground level. I mean, how do you survive that?
The lights are starting to go out as Irma closes in. 76,000 Floridians are now without power. Tom.
Rachel, more than 6.5 million Floridians evacuated, an estimated 75,000 packing shelters, while others are choosing to ride out that monster storm. This man lives in a Tampa Bay high-rise.
My intuition tells me that we're in a pretty safe place, despite the chance or almost certainty of storm surge.
Meantime, Irma, currently a Category 3 hurricane, packing winds at 125 miles per hour, but that is expected to change. Fox meteorologist Janice Dean.
The storm needs the fuel of the warm waters of the Florida Straits to strengthen, and we think that's what's going to happen in the next 12 to 18 hours. So about 100 miles ahead, and we've got like 90-degree temperatures in the Florida Straits. So there's no reason why we're not going to have a strengthening hurricane.
Irma expected to power up to a Category 4 storm. It's also a monster in size. More than 18 million are under a hurricane warning, stretching all the way up to Georgia. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for it to stay nice for the rest of the weekend and into Monday, too. This evening will be pleasant, clear, and comfortable tonight with lows